Recently, I had the blessing of being able to go home and visit my parents in Atlantic Canada. It had been far too long since I had seen them last, and this visit felt like the warmest hug. Time with them always feels that way, and I know how blessed I am to have two parents who love each other and love me. Their love story is one for the ages, and I feel so blessed to have that example in my life. We loved walking through the woods and seeing all the cute little animal tracks and just absorbing the beautiful silence and dormancy of winter together. We loved sitting inside and hearing the wind whistle through their old farmhouse, being cozy by the fire with hot drinks and looking outside to see the snow or the rain. The older I get, the more I just cherish these times together where everyone is alive and well. I mean, you never know. Things could change tomorrow. That's the way life is. It's the lack of permanence is what makes moments so fleeting and so beautiful. While I was home, I would have this feeling pop up a lot, and it's one I've struggled with. I think a lot of people struggle with it, but it was really, really intense during my visit home. It's just this feeling of being just chronically behind in life, feeling like you don't measure up to the world's measuring stick.
This one doesn't have too much land, like it's 1.6 acres.
Oh, so it cuts a little bit of land.
Yeah.
Upon my arrival back to the Pacific Northwest, I was really, really shocked by the contrast in what spring can look like in two different places. Where I live is quite literally on opposite ends of the continent, and it was very apparent in the way spring was presenting itself. In the Pacific Northwest, everything was green and lush and blooming and budding, and in Canada, it was harsh and unforgiving. Nature can often represent feelings and emotions and cycles and patterns that we as humans go through. For me, it really helped me process this feeling of being behind in life. It really showed me that just because my spring might look different than someone else's spring doesn't mean that my summer won't be as beautiful and as full. Because when you look at both places in the summer, you would not know how different they were in the spring. When I was in high school, I was being bullied and going through a really hard time. And my dad came back from the store once and he had this cactus, and he was so excited to give it to me, and I was very confused. And it was this little cactus with a pink flower on it. My dad, the stoic, handed it to me and told me that the flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. The classic line from Mulan. And so I want to encourage you that if your spring has looked different than what you have thought or dreamed or hoped that it might look like, that your life is still worth nurturing, and that you can have a summer that is filled to the brim with goodness.